Hey guys, it's Abby here. I was taking apart this ET-2550 to get to the main board, and we'll show you how to take the main board out in this video. First thing is first, I had to take off that scanner. It undid that screw and just took off the scanner. Just pulled out that FFC cable. It's just connected to the main board there. And I have the front of the printer in this shot facing towards the left. I'll go ahead and turn it around just so I can try to work on the other side of taking that top cover off in the back. But there you go, I just popped that off, and so now we have the back part of the printer open and available to work with. Took me a while to figure out how to get this side piece off, this side cover off, because I have never worked on one of these printers before. But I finally found that screw on the side, and once I unscrewed that, it slid off pretty easily. I also worked with a couple of tabs on the bottom of the printer on those side covers. So if you work with the tabs a little bit and unscrew that screw, the side cover should just come off pretty easily. Now we have our main board here to work with. The main board is covered up mostly by that metal box. And here you can see that there's the FFC cables with that iron core. And here I was trying to work on taking off that metal box. So you go ahead and take that screw out, and it still was tied onto there basically because it had another screw. So lifting up this back piece, I wanted to show you a better view of how I was doing it. So you have to kind of lift up that back piece there and stick your drill or your screwdriver in there, whichever one you have, and push down hard. I had to push down hard just to get some traction there a little bit and some grip. But then I was able to unscrew that, and here I was having to work on getting that metal box out. I believe that there was one more screw that I had to unscrew that was probably on that bottom right side, I think. Yep, there it went. I found it. So yeah, there we go. So unscrew that screw, and that should help. This piece of metal is a little bit bendy, so it was a little easy just to kind of bend it out of place. But also that plastic white piece that holds that iron core that I had showed that I was working with in the beginning, that held that FFC cable, you can also just unscrew that, and that gives you more space to work. I also was just disconnecting a lot of the wires from the main board at this time, trying to finesse the way out of this metal box. So this metal box just kind of was stuck in there for a bit, but somehow I was able to work it out eventually. Alright, looks like we got that out now. So there's that metal box, and now we have our main board open completely for us to work with. So now I just had to try to get my fingers in there the best I could. I'm not really sure if there's an even better way to get to the main board for like better full access to it. So I had to try to just squeeze my fingers in there the best I could to unplug the cables and FFC, the fat cables and stuff, and the wires. But here again, the thing that was holding the main board in is that screw. So just lift up that back cover thing, the back plate, and put your screwdriver or your drill in there and unscrew that, and that should loosen that main board to be able to lift out. I think there's one last cable that was connected. Give it a little wiggle, and your main board should be free. There's your main board. Happy printing.